Hey Juan, Jessica from Peterson SEO. Thank you for allowing us to do this audit for you. So today we're going to go over just a few tips. We're going to look at your online presence and that of your competitors, give you a few tips that you can start applying right away that's really going to help bring more leads. All right. So if we get started, when a person does a search on Google, one of the first things that pop up are ads. There's two different types of Google ads. There's the general Google ads that are cost per click, and there's these Google guaranteed ads. So these are two spots that you can own by optimizing your Google ads strategy. And approximately about 10% of people will click on ads. The second spot in Google is this Google Maps section. Now, about 30% of people will go straight to the maps and won't go anywhere else. So if you're not one of these top 3 companies for each of your relevant keywords in your service area, then you're sending all of those potential leads to your competitors. Now, in order to get in the top 3, there are several factors, including your website's performance. One of the biggest factors is something called citations, which is the name of your business, your address, phone number, and website, and listing those in a bunch of directories like Yelp, Yellow Pages, and Glassdoor. So you need a lot more of those than your competitors. Taking a quick look here, you do have a Google business profile, but it hasn't been optimized. It's not filled out. It's missing descriptions, doesn't have enough images. You have 0 ratings or reviews. All of these type of things are keeping you from getting listed in the top of the map. So you definitely need to optimize this and go after those citations. Now, the third section in Google and the most important are called your organic section. That's below the maps. So your goal should be to be in the top of this section because nearly 70% of people skip clicking the ads, skip the maps, and come right down here to look for the first business. And in that case, we have A+ construction. So let's take a look at your website real quick, and then we'll take a look at theirs. So I am really happy to see that you have a website, that it is secured, which is great. You have your phone number up on top, which is great. Highly recommending having click-to-calls. Your website is missing calls to action to get people to actually do something when they land on this website. I'm happy to see that you have a large variety here on pages. Having a separate page for each of the different types of services you offer is really important. This does allow you to go after the relevant keywords for each of these different types of remodeling, construction, new construction type services. The problem is that all of these pages are just a portfolio. The portfolios are beautiful. It shows your work, which is amazing. But Google doesn't rank that way. It is based on written content, and written content is key. Having these images are great, but they do need to be saved correctly. And they all say the same thing. So you're not utilizing any relevant keywords to actually get found online. And your website doesn't have any written content on any of these pages. So this is really hurting you for being found online to get those organic customers or clients. most contractors don't realize how important this website really is. But when done correctly, this can be your virtual ATM machine. But it does have to be optimized correctly. You do need to have separate pages for each of the different types of services. You need to have a ton of written content. You need to have a content keyword strategy where you're going after those relevant keywords that people are searching in Google every day. And then you need 250 words for every one of those keywords you're targeting. Now, your home page is one of the most important pages, and it should be a summary of each of the variety of different services that you're having here. If not all of them, at least your major ones. And then each of these service pages will have their own original content and focus on different keywords. Now, you want to focus on those local keywords rather than national, because local keywords are going to bring local traffic. If you're focusing on national keywords and you don't service outside of California, then you're going to have issues because you're going to get tons of traffic, but you're never going to convert them into customers. And the whole point of this website is to drive those leads that you can convert into customers. And then the last thing is, if you're servicing multiple service areas, which I believe you are, you really need to have separate service area pages. So if you are working outside of Galt in Sacramento and Davis and all of those other areas in the vicinity, if you're working those areas, any of those areas that have search volume for keywords need to have their own page that will allow you to be found organically for your services in each community that you are servicing. And then once your website is properly built and optimized, then you need to support it with SEO, because that is how you're going to rank those keywords and be found online. Let's take a quick look at your competitor. Not the greatest looking site, but you can see they have a ton of pages. They have their phone number up top, but it's not even a click to call. I would take this a step further and actually have a form right here. You can have buttons that take you to other pages, but also have a form right on top. You want to give your customers the easiest way to contact you. And so forms and click to calls are really important. You can see here they have a lot more content than you guys, and they're focusing on those local keywords like general contractor and Galt. So that's really important. Also, to understand people search differently. And so oftentimes there's many variations of the same keyword, and you want to be able to capitalize on that. But to be able to beat these guys, you have to do better than they're doing. You have to do a lot more content. You have to focus on the proper keyword strategy. You have to have the interlinking pages between your service pages. Your portfolio is great. You just need to save them appropriately and add those keywords. And these guys have a huge service area, and they have separate pages for each of the areas that they service. The downside is all of their pages have identical content, just switching out the keywords, and that doesn't work for Google. Google does not like it, and these guys will be penalized for that. They're not going to show up when they should be. So let's go ahead and take a look here. This is a program called Ahrefs. It tells us how your website is performing. As you can see here, this DR rating, this is your domain rating. This is your website as a whole, all the pages. You have a rating of 4.7 out of 100 in Google's Trust Flow, which means Google does not trust your website. That is 100% based on your backlinks and referring domains. Now, a referring domain is any website that will provide your website with a link from their site to your site. This is like a popularity contest. But if you think of it like electricity, right? Your referring domain would be the wall, your plugin. The backlink would be the plug that goes to fire up your device, to bring power to that device. And so those referring domains are bringing power to your website to help you to rank. So you do need a lot of these type of backlinks, but not all are created equal. You want to make sure you're only getting the good authoritative links directly related to your services and that are do follows, because those are the ones that share the power. You have been indexed for 9 keywords and you are getting about 13 people on your website. So you're missing out on a ton of potential customers. When we look at your keywords, the only thing you're getting traffic on is your brand. And your brand is good, but unfortunately it's also a national keyword. So there's no way to know if the 12 people that landed on your site were even local. So it's really, really important to focus on those local and local and regional style keywords. Looking at your competitor, they've got a 47 out of 100. So they're doing really good on Google's trust flow. They have over 8,000 backlinks. Now, Google does only really give you credit for 1 backlink per referring domain. So that's a lot of spammy links. So that actually is diluting their score a little bit here. But they do have 1,300 that are do follow that are helping power this website. And they're getting a lot more traffic because they have a lot more pages, a lot more content, and they've been indexed for almost 4,000 keywords. So they're getting over 2,400 people to their website. And I know that might look a little bit scary, but if we actually look at their keywords they're ranking for the most part, they got this backwards. They do have a couple local keywords here, but the keywords they're going after in many cases, they're going after high traffic keywords that are completely irrelevant, like fun bars in Sacramento. These type of keywords, they may drive a lot of traffic. It may get people to read your blog articles, but just throwing that traffic at your website is not going to get them to stick to become customers. You have to focus on those local buyer intent keywords. Like this one, bars in Sacramento. This does nothing to help them. That's given them 120 people to the website, and none of them are going to become customers. So you want to make sure that you're focusing on the right type of local keywords. So now if you follow each of these strategies I provided you today, your website has the opportunity to be number 1 in Google in each of your service areas. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them for you. So go ahead and reply back to my email and we can chat, or you can give us a call. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.